Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today our topic is keeping quiet. It has been written by Pablo Neroda, who was born in 1904 and died in 1973. He was born in Chile. Neroda's poem is full of easily understood images, means he used very simple images to understand things. It is very easy to understand his poetry. So let's start keeping quiet. The poem. What does the title of the poem suggest to you? Keeping quiet, keeping silent, doing nothing, to be stand still. Keep quiet for some time. The poem has been written for the self introspection, so that to take a break from the day-to-day chores, from the different activities, and just keep quiet and silent and just introspect and think what the good one is doing for the whole humanity. So let's start. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. The very word, the first verse is an antithesis. Antithesis means it's a contrast. On one hand, the poet said, "Now we will count to 12." Means let's count begin the counting up 12. And we will all keep still. On the other hand, he said, "Let's keep still, let's be silent, let's do nothing." Means it's contrast. And the very first this verse, the poet says like that. And actually, he wants us to keep quiet for the self introspection, so that we can understand the fate of the human being, the humanity on the earth. When we keep we count 12. This word 12 has mythological, it has religious, it has magical significance. Even we have the clock, and that is dotted with 12 dots on it, and that shows that other words we say it is the 12 hours. Means the time is counted by in hours, and the day is divided in 12 hours. In other words, we can say that. And so the poet in short says that let's count, keep some time. Let's keep quiet for some time. Let's do nothing. Settle means to be quiet, to do nothing. And in the next this stanza, "For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language." And he forbids us to use any language while keep quiet, while we observe silence. We don't do any movement, any activity. At that time, he says, he advises us not to use any language. According to the author, according to the poet, that the language creates barriers. Language divides us. So let's not use it. Let's be in unison. Let's be together in our activity or in our silence. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. We should not move our arms. We should not do any activity. In other words, in one way, we can say we should not raise our hands, we should not flatten our hands, we should not down our hands, we should do no activity. We should keep quiet, we should be silent, we should be still. Without movement. Still means to be without movement. And in other words, we can say we should not use the arms. Arms means the weapons. We should not be destructive. We should use. We should observe silence in order to bring peace and tranquility. That is the main theme. The main theme of the poem, the poet Pablo Neruda, is this in this poem highlights the theme of the poem, that is the necessity of quiet introspection. quite introspection and developing a mutual understanding among human beings. This is the main theme of the poem, and in these words, the poet is very much clear about it and shows that we should do quite introspection and use no such tactics, not to use our arms or weapons or anything that destroys the humanity, the human being. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. It would be an exotic means rare moment, isn't it? It is something rare, something strange. When all the people in the world observe silence and be silent and just enjoy the tranquility and peace and do no such activity which creates, which destroys, which is destructive, and so it is something rare, it is something unique, without rush, and there would be no rush, without engines, no moment of engines or cars or vehicles, and so no noise at all, no nothing. We would all be together in a certain strength. So we would be in a unison. We would be together. We would be united. In though this is something strange, in a strangeness, certain strange, that is in observance of the silence and this doing nothing, no activity. So something strange. The world over. If we observe it, and we will be in unison, we will be together, and we. So this will be a rare moment. In this moment, if everybody observes, the fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales. So and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Fishermen in the cold sea would mean fishermen who are in the middle of the sea and just hunting for the for whales, and if they are also they observe this silence, they observe, they will be keep quiet and they will do no activity, and then definitely they would say that these whales would be saved, they would not be get hurt, they would not be killed. So, and the main gathering salt would look at those people who have the job to collect the salt from the salt fields, and they get a chance during the peace time, during this peace time of silence and stillness, they would get a chance to look after their bruised hands, to hurt hands, and they will be at peace for some time. So, and this is another aspect. This means this will provide us an opportunity to get to be in peace, to observe, to observe tranquility and all that. Those who prepare grain wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors. Means that other people, so many people among us are, and they are always ready to destroy our ecosystem, our environment. They are just destroying our forests, the greenery. They would fell the trees, they would do every activity, and would destroy this lush greenness of the earth. I mean, they would like to remove it all, but once they observe the quiet, that time they will disappear. They will disappear these green wars. They'll disappear these green fields and green cover of the earth was with and those people who just fight with poisonous gas or chemical weapons, was with firearms and destructive arms, those who use in the field. If they get a chance and victory with no answer, and ultimately they get the victory, but there will be no survivors. Means they, with these weapons, with these chemical weapons, with these firearms, or the war we break out against this greenery or environment or ecosystem, means this will leave nobody to survive. There will be no survivors, and we how could one enjoy the victory when there is nobody left alive? So if these people, those who wage war against the humanity, and would keep quiet and do no such activity, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers, means they would be in peace, and in the peace times there would be no enemies, and they would just enjoy the tranquility and peace with their brothers in isolation or in the shades and doing nothing, and they have no such activity of destruction. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. The poet makes it clear that we should not confuse ourselves, that the poet does not actually want us to be completely inactive. He is not. He doesn't mean it that life is what is about. I want to track. I want no track. I want no track with death. Actually, life is what is all about. Life is about the activity. So how he just advises us not to do any activity. He actually does not want us to be inactive. He wants us to be inactive in the sense that we should not destroy the humanity. We should not destroy the beauty of the nature or beauty of this world by waging war against the environment, against the humanity, by killing them with chemical weapons, with killing them firearms or other things. So he does not. In that sense, he wants to keep quiet and be silent. And he says, well, life is what it is about, and life will go on as it is, and it is meant to go. I want no track with with death. Actually, he doesn't want that we should have any association with death. Means we should not become the agents of death. We should not just kill our human beings, our brothers everywhere. If we are, but we should just give the message of peace. These words are in a way, this is the message of peace and tranquility. If we are not single-minded, if we are not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving, means if we are not unanimous in our opinion, in our thought, that we are to keep quiet ourselves, not to do any activity which destroys the humanity, and for once could do nothing. Perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. When we don't understand each other, we have difference of opinion. At that time, we make words. If we don't understand, there will be perhaps a huge silence, and that will prevail, that will be there. So perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Perhaps the earth can teach us. So he cites a beautiful example from in this poem. That's perhaps the earth can teach us. It is we can learn the lesson from earth, that undergoes different seasons, and in one season everything is in a dormant stage. Means no plants sprout, no, there is no greenery, no nothing. But in another season, again they become alive. The plants, the trees, they sprout, they flourish. And so, similar is the case with we. If we keep silent, we do no such activity that destroys them. We will be in a dormant period. We would do nothing like that. So next time we will be alive. We will flourish. We will be again making the life like heaven on earth. Now I will count up to 12, and you keep quiet, and I will go. Now the poet in the last stanza says, now let me start counting 12, means let's begin this. Let's declare that we are in a state of nova, in a state of calm and tranquility. We are in self introspection. That's the important thing. Actually, we in the hours of this silence and stillness, we would observe. We would be observing self introspection, looking what we have done and how we will repair the things if we have done any damage to the earth or damage to the humanity. So I will count up to 12 and you keep quiet. It means you just observe silence, you just do this self. I will go, and with this I conclude today's lecture. We will continue the next lecture. We will discuss the stanza wise or summarize it and do the questions and some particulars or whatever is given in. With this I conclude today's lecture. Okay, Khuda Hafiz.